The battle for video podcast is on. Netflix versus YouTube and what this means for your B2B technology marketing. Welcome back to the 1% Insight podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be chatting about Netflix versus YouTube, as Netflix has now entered the video podcasting industry. We're going to look at both platforms, Netflix and YouTube, the licensing deals that are with the Netflix offer, and ultimately why YouTube is still the main platform for your B2B technology podcast. So let's get straight into it. During October 2025, Netflix and Spotify agreed on a multi-year licensing deal for video podcasts. Essentially, certain podcasts from Spotify's catalog will be moving and be able to stream on both Spotify and on Netflix as of early 2026. Now, these podcasts that have been selected as part of this multi-year licensing deal are very select and they're quite large podcasts. As part of this deal, the video podcast will have to be removed from YouTube as Netflix will own the exclusive rights alongside Spotify. Also, in recent days, as of early November, it's been reported that Netflix are in a similar type of conversation with iHeartMedia for the exact same proposal where their podcasts would be exclusively shown in video format on Netflix. To date, YouTube is and has been the main platform for video streaming and especially video podcast streaming, as the content has become a much more adapted format among both creators and companies. We've seen Spotify introduce video podcasting to their platform over the last couple of years, where you might notice if you go onto the Diary of the CEO, for example, you can actually watch the podcast on Spotify or just listen to it. So these are big moves being made by Netflix to start taking a stake in this video podcasting industry, as they obviously see the potential in it as a content format. So the question that you might be asking is, what does this have to do with B2B technology or my own B2B technology marketing strategy that may include a podcast? Well, it matters because this new competition between Netflix and YouTube when it comes to video podcasting is going to create a new era of opportunities for creators, and then after creators, companies to avail of. At present, it's really for top creator podcasts. There might be a couple of business podcasts inside there, but really it's going to be creator-led content. So it doesn't matter too much right now in terms of this licensing deal with Netflix. They won't be asking, for example, smaller podcasts to be part of this deal right now. But it may have implications down the line. 2, 3, 4 years down the line, there might be opportunities to start streaming your podcast on Netflix that aren't available right now. Why it matters is because you're going to see a lot more news about this over the coming months and coming years in terms of video podcasting and the different platforms that you might host it on. As a B2B technology podcast, YouTube is still the best place for hosting your video podcast for multiple reasons. With Netflix approach right now, it's very focused on exclusive content, which fits their platform and it fits their model, but that doesn't necessarily work well for B2B technology audiences. When people go to Netflix, they are going for entertainment purposes, to watch their favorite series or find a new film to watch. So it makes sense that Netflix are looking for exclusive podcast shows now that are around the creators, around interesting topics like that. So it would take a big shift for Netflix to transition into a platform that would be educational focused, whereas YouTube kind of has both those markets right now where there's video content on education, but there's also entertainment on YouTube. So it's had those many years to evolve and grow over time, whereas Netflix at the moment is still just entertainment based content, which doesn't really fit what we're trying to do with your B2B technology podcast. Something else to note why this is important for your B2B technology strategy and not to be throwing it out of the window when you hear Netflix is doing video podcasts is that we don't yet know what type of analytics or what type of distribution will come from the Netflix platform. What forms of engagement can they provide your podcasts in comparison to YouTube? It's going to be great for the overall video podcasting industry because when there's competition, it usually results in better platforms and better offerings from the streaming platforms. The reason for creating this episode today is to highlight why right now in 2025 and probably 2026 and probably after that, YouTube is still the key platform to choose for your B2B technology podcast. Reason number 1, distribution. YouTube is, to the best of my knowledge, second in terms of largest search engine in the world. It is a huge platform with hundreds of millions going on to billions of monthly users. YouTube is one of the biggest, if not the largest, open video platform with a global reach. Another benefit of YouTube when it comes to distribution is anybody can search for a YouTube video. You don't necessarily have to have a Netflix account and pay the Netflix subscription. Yes, there is YouTube Premium, but that doesn't stop you from reaching the videos. Where with Netflix, that is a barrier to connecting your podcast to the audience. That's why they are going after high quality shows, exclusive shows, and that's just part of their platform. So I don't think they're necessarily thinking of business based podcasts in this scenario. Hence why YouTube is still the go-to for your video podcast. And lastly, on distribution, you have many different benefits. You have YouTube Shorts, which have great reach. You have your actual YouTube videos as well. But your B2B technology audience, so your prospects on the other end of it, are familiar with YouTube. They use it on a daily basis, whether they're consuming product demos, webinars, interviews. They're already used to consuming content on this platform, and it's easily accessible to them. Reason number 2, why YouTube is still key for your B2B technology podcast, is the search engine optimization advantage that comes with having an active YouTube channel, whether that be from the titles, the transcripts, the descriptions, the videos themselves. They rank quite highly when people search on Google. Whether your audience, your B2B prospects are engaging in key parts of their B2B buying journey, from the early stages of awareness where they're just becoming problem aware, they'll usually go to Google. Now, more recently, they're using AI and LLMs to conduct some independent research. Reason number 3, data and the analytics that YouTube Creator Studio provides are far superior than I imagine what Netflix have built out just yet. And all this is skeptical because we don't know how the video podcasts are going to look on Netflix. And like I mentioned, it's the very select few that have been chosen for this right now. Your YouTube Studio gives you actionable insights that you can use to improve your videos, but also gives you insights on what content is performing well amongst your target audience. Back to the whole purpose of this episode and this video is to showcase that, yes, you might see posts. I did one myself in terms of Netflix versus YouTube, the rise of video podcasts. But the main thing to take away from this is that, firstly, Netflix probably won't come knocking on your door asking you to be part of the select few podcasts that will begin streaming on their platform from 2026. The second point to that is that you probably don't want to be on that platform right now because YouTube has so many benefits and there's so much growth to be had from implementing a YouTube strategy, whether that be from discoverability, from your prospects, your ICP, finding your podcast, your video-based content. The ease of access to this content is another big thing for your audience as well. They don't have to be behind a paywall. The searchability function of it and it being your content being indexed in Google searches is a key one for B2B audiences, especially with buying committees who are conducting their own independent research and not engaging with your sales team. The data and the analytics that you can get from YouTube right now are far superior to the possibility of what Netflix might have down the line, just in terms of the sheer amount of video and the amount of years they've been hosting videos on their site. It will be interesting to see how podcasts and video podcasts appear on the Netflix platform over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And there might be a shift in their own model. But right now, YouTube is the key platform for your video podcasts and your video content. Keep an eye on the future developments of the Netflix platform, and it might even push YouTube to upgrade certain areas of their services and products to creators and brands. And lastly, just key pieces of advice. If you have just started your B2B technology podcast, or you're considering starting it or putting it in the plans for your marketing in 2026, the key will always be solve a problem, focus on your target audience group, and create the value in that. Don't be obsessed in making it into a sales tool. It will do that in time based on the value that you give out. But first and foremost, make sure the podcast is solving a problem and providing value to your target audience, and it'll be very hard to go wrong. If you're looking to upgrade your B2B technology content strategy going into 2026, make sure you head over to our free resource at trend7m.com/B2B Tech. Here you will be able to find the free video and PDF that we've created for B2B tech marketers on how they can build a B2B tech content strategy that fuels their pipeline. Thanks for tuning in to the 1% Insight. Tune in next week where I will be interviewing Gemma Curley of HereWorks. Catch you in the next episode.